got some game day planning tomorrow to do, man. I really appreciate you letting me call in and speak of our organization and give a couple of our kids and our program a shout out. And hey, man, anytime you want to have me on, man, it's an honor, and I'll be more than welcome to come back on and sit down and chit-chat with you again, man.
And we really appreciate you being on the show. And we really do. And good luck in the game tomorrow, Coach Campbell. Sorry we lost Coach Jones, contact with Coach Jones on the show. And, hey, we're going to have you on the show next week after the big rivalry game, so that way you can give us an update on what happened. We'll try to have the East Dragon organization also, and we'll talk a little bit more. Hey, everybody, Coach Wilson Sonny Campbell of the Firestone Park Rams, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, thanks, Coach Campbell.
Thank you.
Well, it was good having Coach Campbell on the show. Sorry we lost connection there for a quick minute, but hopefully we got right back to you. We're looking pretty good. We did just get some breaking news in that Adrian Peterson was indicted by a federal grand jury charged with child abuse. 610, Channel 610 out of Houston got the police report first. From what we understand is Adrian Peterson back in May gave his son a whooping over some interaction with a video game, and when his son went back to Minnesota with his mom after the summer was over, she took him to the doctor, and it was all types of beat marks on him and stuff. And at that point, the state of Minnesota picked it up as a case of child abuse. So that was just breaking news earlier today. I just wanted to shoot it to you. So if you didn't hear about it and you're watching the show, you know that Adrian Peterson now has been deactivated for Sunday's game. And I took the Minnesota Vikings yesterday on Outside the Locker Room with Coach Carr Jr. So I just want to say this as we get ready to sum up the first episode of Conversations with the Benchwarmers. As an ex-athlete and as a coach, as an athlete, you're supposed to kind of understand that there's a certain dedication to the game that you're playing or the sport that you're involved in. And you're supposed to kind of represent that sport in a upstanding and outstanding type way. Now, sure, we're all only human. We all got faults. We all got disabilities. But the thing is, you got to remember that even if you're on the team, even if you're not getting all the publicity that someone else is, you're still supposed to carry yourself in a way that's respectable to that institution, to the sport, and first of all and foremost, yourself and your family. So in all of these incidents that we're hearing about, the knockout of Ray Rice's fiance, who's now his wife, things like that shouldn't happen. Yes, they are happening everywhere, and it's happening, and they're not even bringing it to the light. But this is being brought to the light because Ray Rice is an athlete. And it's good that it's being brought to the light because all of those incidents need to be brought to a light. It just shouldn't be done. I'm from that type of family. I know we're all not. But I'm just asking, young men, older men, all men, knock that shit off. Knock it off, please. Because like I heard a commentator say earlier, if it was my daughter or my mom or my sister, it's time for me to die, I guess, then, because I'm not going to let it happen. I don't care what she said to you or what she did to you. If she didn't kill you, you got to walk away. That would tell me to leave her ass alone, period. Let somebody else deal with that crap. And you just got to put the shoe on the other foot. If that was my mom, sister, grandmother, aunt, niece, daughter. Well, been a great show. I enjoyed myself being back. I look forward to this first season. Last season was sort of like a preseason. But I really enjoyed myself. And I look forward to better topics, more topics. I look forward to the guests that I'm going to have on future shows. And I look forward to the audience enjoying themselves. We're going to try to make it laughable, enjoyable. We're going to make you think a little bit. But it's all what we believe. You know, we all have our entitlement to believe what we want to believe. So I just hope that you take something away that I said that can probably stick with you, or you can pass on to somebody else. You can always catch the replay of these live recordings. Hold on a second before I leave. I got Coach James E. Johnson. Coach Johnson is live on the show, but I don't want to. Not too bad. Just had a pretty good show. We talked about at the beginning of the show. The fans already know this. You guys remember Coach James E. Johnson from the Elite Fundamentals Academy out of Atlanta, Georgia. He just called in. Coach Johnson, we were talking about the East Dragon Firestone Park Little League matchup. I had both coaches on the show from those teams because they have a big matchup tomorrow in the Akron, Ohio area. And then afterwards, and then the second part of the show, we just ended up, we talked about the Ray Rice incident, and I showed the video live to everybody. So just in case if they didn't see the video this week, I showed it live on the show. So we just all chimed in our finalizations and finalized how we felt about the whole situation. So how you been?
Man, I've been outstanding, Coach Carr. Can't complain, working hard, and just trying to make it happen like everybody else, man. I've been great. How you been, Coach?
Not bad. Well, welcome to the show, and I'm glad our viewers can hear that you're working hard and doing a good job. Would you like to chime in on your final analysis or your thoughts about what you saw in the media this week as far as with Ray Rice knocking out his fiance then, but now wife? And not only that, we had breaking news that Adrian Peterson was indicted on federal grand jury charges with child abuse just earlier today, about 6 hours ago, Eastern Standard Time. So it's been a lot of athletes, targeted. Or we're all, like I was telling our viewers, we're ex-athletes and coaches, and we know that the limelight is on us. Even if you're not one of the stars or you're not a starter and you're on the bench, I'm a bench warmer now. But the light is on me, and whether I know it or not. So the thing we want to say is, it's been in the media this week, and then with just the breaking news with Adrian Peterson, I want to know your personal thoughts on the whole matter, Coach Johnson.
Well, you're absolutely right. There was a lot of stuff going on, and even something a little closer to home to me here in Atlanta, just to add to that, just everything going on in the media about sports, the whole situation with the owner of the Atlanta Hawks and the comments by the general manager, Danny Ferry, that's coming out about what he was saying about Luol Deng and different things. And that's just even another situation. I first of all just really want to say, when it comes to sports, in my true opinion, is you really shouldn't be on the front page of the news because it's entertainment.
Right.
And so, it should be all set in perspective, but when celebrities become the headlines like they have been in these last couple of weeks, it's really a tough situation, and it's really not a good thing. I'll go to each one. With the Ray Rice situation, I think a lot of things were handled incorrectly. I think the original altercation between Ray Rice and the then Janae and then the future Mrs. Rice was a horrible situation to begin with. Completely horrible. I think that the fact that a TMZ to get that and just put, I mean, media just goes so far nowadays, but to have that altercation just put out to the world is horrible. Not to mention the altercation itself. I feel like both of the adults were acting just really not like very, very mature adults, spitting and hitting on each other. But ultimately, in my opinion, I'm a married man. I don't see ever swinging on a female or on a woman that I know, that I'm in a relationship with, that's my sister, somebody I know, or even if we have altercations and so forth, I just don't see that happening in this particular situation. I think at this point, Ray Rice, he could have very simply just held her away from himself.
Right.
Or just push her away. Well, I just don't understand why swinging on this young lady was his choice of action. And everything else that happened after that, the way the NFL handled it, the way the prosecution and the legal situation handled it, it's just a really very unfortunate for
Right, because like we were, like we were saying, Coach Campbell had chimed, I had chimed in and said that, we don't know what had got all the way to that situation. The video showing her, and I was playing it live for our viewers while we were discussing it, and I ran it, I think, about 3, 4, 5 times, so I didn't put it back up on the screen now. It was vivid enough where they could see exactly what happened, but I was chiming in by saying that, I wasn't raised in a family like that, and it just, it's sad because, like I said, that's somebody's, daughter, granddaughter, aunt, niece, mother, sister, and I look at it like, and even in my own life, you know what I'm saying? And even in my own life, I look at it like, I done been spat on, I done been smacked, and all types of stuff by women, that I approached or did somewhere, but I walked away. Even in a crowd of people that type of thing happened to me, but I walked away because I just knew that it wasn't worth it. But then again, I'm not going to do something that I wouldn't want done to my mom or my grandma or my aunt or my sister, because I'm going to tell you right now, like I told the viewers, if that would have been my sister, I already know, and it's on video, it's going to be some drama. Because we don't, we don't play that, and the message that I was trying to get to the viewers, to pass on to our young men, period, our older men, middle-aged men, to men, period. Stop that shit. It's too many women. We raise our women, our sisters, to be like our we raise them like that, so we know it's gonna be drama and hell. That's just a part of life. But as far as
absolutely, and at the same time, what did you not know? They're in a casino. There have been some drinking involved and so on and so forth. So we don't know what the mindset was or what the mindset of the fight was. But also at the same time, Coach Carr, I've got 3 daughters, and I'm raising 3 daughters, and I would expect my daughters to at all times to be behaving like a lady. And you're going to get upset, you're going to have a fight with your boyfriend or your fiance or your husband or what have you. But I don't expect for my daughters
to ever get that call that she been knocked out.
It's a certain hard situation and you spitting on people and stuff like that.
Right. You don't ever want to get that call that, she been knocked out, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We all done as fathers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know. Go ahead, Coach. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Coach Johnson.
I'm just saying that, and I just think that whole situation was a very, very horrible situation. And what was the other sports situation that happened this week?
The other situation was right before I came on, about 6 hours ago, Eastern Standard Time. The grand jury had indicted, the federal grand jury had indicted Adrian Peterson of the Minnesota Vikings with child abuse charges. Now, the first people to get the police report on that was a station 610 out of Houston got the police report first. And I'm just going to give a briefing about, what I got was that back in May, Adrian Peterson had his son down, I guess, for the summer, and he ended up giving him a whooping over about a video game or something. And, when his son went back for the summer to his mom in Minnesota, ended up going to the doctor, and at the doctor they saw these ass whooping marks or whatever, and the state of Minnesota turned it into a case, child abuse. So that was just dropped. Sorry, we got helicopters and stuff flying around because Seattle is a really popping town right now. They had a big game. The number 1 soccer team in Major League was playing at home tonight. And then the Mariners, who about a game or two out of the wild card, they at home tonight. So you hear helicopters, you hear sirens. It's been wild since the Super Bowl. So, but that's what happened.
It's a really good situation. I know it's probably popular guys out of Seattle. I do have to feel sorry for the Mariners because the Tigers is going to go ahead and snatch up that wild card spot, right?
Well, I'm a Cincinnati Reds fan, and they've been out the playoffs. But it feels good to be in the city because, like I always told you, Coach Johnson, just like losing is a disease, winning is a disease. And I'm gonna have George Mozzie. He used to be the sports information director for Ohio University. I'm gonna have him on the show because he remembered me talking about how winning can change a whole community. It can change the whole state of Washington. And now look at the soccer team. They number 1 in Major League Soccer. The baseball team is fighting, to get in the playoffs for the first time in 15, 20 years. So winning can do that. But I didn't mean to jump off what you had asked me about what happened earlier. It was Adrian Peterson on those charges behind giving his son a whooping. And he said that he whooped his son the same way he was whooped when he was growing up.
Well, I'm going to say this about that, and I will say this. Today's times are different than the times even when I was growing up and you was growing up. These are different times.
I got my ass beat.
These are different.
But I needed it. I did what I wasn't supposed to do, flat out.
Can I finish, please?
Yeah, you can. My bad.
When Adrian Peterson, the level of whooping, I don't know. I'm going to just say this. I guess I was abused and mentally abused because my folks told me to go beat the switch.
Right.
And I had to get my whip this week.
Right.
And then, can you imagine what type of mental anguish that is on a kid to go have to pick your switch? And then you come back with a flimsy switch, and they get mad because it's not a good enough switch. So they get you back, and you just made more upset. This is just, and I feel like I turned out okay.
Right. Right.
I mean, I really do. I feel like I turned out okay. However, Adrian Peterson is an absentee dad, okay, got his kid for the summer.
Okay, when you say absentee dad, that means him and the mom ain't together, okay?
Okay.
But can that
right. So he got his kid for the summer. It's disciplining the kid with a switch. How old is the kid?
I do not have the information on that. I do not have
it. I'm going to find that out. Because mom takes the kid to the doctor. I mean, He's working the kids at Swiss and putting the kids back on the plane to Minnesota to the mom and the doctor in Minnesota. I mean, as an athlete, you want to make good decisions.
I don't think it happened. I don't think it happened right away where he gave him the whooping and then sent his ass home. I think what happened was he got the whooping while he was down there in Texas. And when he got back home, he still had some wets, I guess, from the switch. They hadn't healed or went away or whatever.
So today's times are a lot different than when you were growing up. I think you may want to definitely get a good lawyer and explain inside of the case. That might stuff happened to me when I was growing up as a kid, and I heard I was alright.
A.J. Peterson, let's see.
I was very surprised to see those type of charges.
Let's see, I'm trying to see if his son, how old his son is. Indicted
and while you're looking at those charges, what are your thoughts about the situation down here in Atlanta?
I believe you guys should get rid of the whole organization and bring in new people. It's just like the Clippers.
Yeah, that sounds about up to par.
It's just.
I was actually, if I wasn't about to turn my heart into this elite fundamentals basketball academy, I was going to my resume right there. I might have to just do the digital Atlanta paper and say, hey, let me be the general manager. Because I'm going to tell you what will fill the city at Phillips Arena. And I've been to games at Phillips Arena. I sat in the luxury boxes. And finally, New Orleans win of the South, man. Do you know how many celebrities are here? But they're hardly ever at any of the Hawks games just because they're not winning, man. They're not competing for really competing. For the Eastern Conference Championship, not really.
No, they're not.
They're competing to get in the playoffs, man.
Right, they're not.
And so if they put together a decent team, they haven't had a really decent team since Dominique Wilkins, man.
They have not. They have not, Coach Johnson.
Guess what? A great black people and white people and all types of people in the see a winning team.
Yes, that is a fact. Now that is a fact.
Coach, you've been on a lot of teams, man. And this is really what kills me about the Atlanta Hawks situation because, and even the LA Clippers situation, but those are two prime franchises that would experience this, though. If you are winning in sports transcends race, Coach.
Yes, it does.
And it's a deep concept, but when you think about it, and when you play in sports, and you can be on a team, and it transcends race when you're winning.
Yes.
It's just this crazy thing about sports. And that's what the Atlanta Hawks mean, that's what the LA Clippers mean. They were getting closer to it, when I think Mr. Sterling was old and almost senile. He probably definitely thought that way, but was just old and senile and had his nose wide open with this young lady. But the game is clear to be making these comments and then repeating these comments and just feeling like that's an okay culture. I'm with you. You can resign, the Overton Sales team, everything, let's clear it out to the bare bone.
Exactly.
Okay? I don't know about this secretary over here, this administrative assistant.
Because
let's clear it out to the bare bone.
Because they were all under that regime.
Because anytime that be comfortable doing business like that, man, that's not cool.
It's not.
It's not cool. That's not what this country is about. It's not cool.
It's not what it's supposed to be about.
To repeat it is just as bad. Yeah, that's not a culpable excuse for a mature person.
Right.
Because if I'm reading something repulsive, describing someone for a piece of information, I'm not going to be repeating that
No.
on a conference call, saying this is what they said. I'm not repeating that.
Right.
I'm way more professional than that. My mom and daddy taught me better than that.
And you know what, Coach Johnson? I mean, it's coming out. I mean, the Clippers, you know, the whole Clipper deal started it, and now the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, but there's more teams out there that it's the same thing. But they're just not. People are being careful. They're trying to be careful, but I got a feeling we're gonna see more team owners slip up. It's gonna be some changes, I believe. I'm hoping.
Man, I tell you what, Coach Carr, it's just changes going on really in the world. But the thing about here in the United States, man, it's just, we all here, man. We all are here now. And the fact of the matter is, we need to all treat everybody fairly, man.
Right. Right.
That's just it.
Now, what do you believe gonna happen with Lou? Is Lou Aldang gonna keep his contract or what?
Well, you know, Lou Aldang signed with the Miami Heat. He didn't even come. So they were considering signing him, but he ended up signing with the Miami Heat. And he made a very good comment. You know, he was talking about he's got a little African in him. Lou Aldang says, you know, I've got more than a little, I've got a lot of African in me. And I'm proud of it.
Right.
Lou Aldang is an upstanding, he is probably one of the most upstanding NBA citizens. Just recently won a award for character.
Right.
And this is, man, I think it's this with Danny Berry. Lou Aldang is a Duke guy.
And he's a Duke graduate. I didn't get a chance to say that. He's a Duke graduate.
Yes. So if Danny Berry would repeat some horrible couple sentences, paragraphs about a fellow Duke alum,
That's some bullshit.
not only NBA brotherhood, but the Duke brotherhood, as horrible as that stuff was,
Right.
I can't imagine what he would say about somebody he really don't like or don't have much respect for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was sad, man. It was sad, you know, and it's sad because I missed Lou Aldang's comment. I didn't get a chance to hear about that.
Yeah, he had a very professional rebuttal, man. You know, he had a very professional rebuttal, and just basically, you know, professionally said, you know, keep my name out your mouth, you know, you got to be professional like that.
Right.
But that's the better word about that.
Right, that's the
He's trying to get hood on me, keep my name out your mouth.
Hey, well, you're allowed to on this show. You're allowed to on this show. This is Conversations with the Bench Warmers. You're allowed to on this show. We having our conversations. We coaches.
Right.
We talk about, you know. So we're gonna express our feelings. You're absolutely right there, Coach Johnson. So me and you, we're gonna talk off the set about the Elite Basketball Academy, because we know we're gonna have you back on the show for that in the future here, coming up with basketball season. I'm gonna try to make you in between your coaching season. I'm gonna have to always have you on the show as an update. And then like I had sent you an email or a message earlier saying that I was looking for a job down there as a volunteer that could possibly work in the full time.
I heard you know great references and such as I got the voice message, and I actually was just trying to reach back out to you. I didn't realize I was calling the show, but I got my alert on my phone, and I'm like, well, let me see if I can reach the bench warmers, because I tried to pull up the video on my smartphone here, and it just wouldn't come through. It wouldn't work good, but it sounds like you're having a great show, and it's good to be out at the bench warmers real quick.
Well, let me say this, Coach Johnson. I'm trying to figure out what the problem is, because I did get a couple calls earlier saying that, you know, they go to the website, to the webcast to watch it live, but it make them click on it. When you watch now, you got to go to, it takes you to live stream or something like that, and you got to type in, like you a follower, you got to type in and then get in that way. I've been having a pretty good connection most of the show tonight. The first 40 minutes was good, and then this last half hour, my connection is pretty good. But I'm trying to figure out if I got the player embedded right. But let me just say this, since this is a good show, and I know you want to rewatch the show so you can hear yourself on the show and see what you missed for the show. Immediately after the show, I'll make sure our producer gets it onto the website. Just go to the webcast and you'll be able to watch the whole show, last night's show and tonight's show on the replay, right there on the website. You won't have to go to live. You won't have to go to live stream or nothing.
Earlier today as well, Coach Carl, I saw the Elite Fundamentals starting out there, man. That looks sweet, really sweet, Coach. And I appreciate the shout out there. And things are moving forward with the academy as well. So we look forward to having your assistance, Coach, and just helping the academy in any way you feel that you want to get involved, Coach. Absolutely.
And I'm looking forward to that, because I'm going to talk to you if you're not available after the show. I'm definitely available all day tomorrow. But I guarantee you'll like yesterday's show because of what happened to my boys, Michigan. What actually happened, Coach Johnson, is the Conversations with the Benchwarmers show has always been slated for Fridays, but it's been slated for Fridays at 11:30. Well, it's staying Friday, but I moved the time from 11:30 Eastern to 11 o'clock Eastern. Now, the Outside the Locker Room with Coach Carr Jr., where I get on and give my predictions of marquee games and talk about the marquee games coming up for the weekend, football, baseball, basketball, and all that. I moved it from Friday at 10:30 Eastern to Thursday nights at 11 o'clock Eastern. So instead of doing two shows in one night, I'm doing Outside the Locker Room on Thursdays at 11, and then Conversations with the Benchwarmers, where we conversate about all the stuff that's going on in social media and the world today. We talk about that on Fridays at 11. So immediately after this show, you'll be able to go right on the website, benchwarmersblog.weebly.com, the webcast page, and you will be able to watch the replay immediately. So, Coach Johnson, I want to thank you for calling me. I apologize that you didn't know you was on the show, but I immediately let you know as soon as you said, after I said hello, that thanks for calling into the show, and it's always a pleasure.
Coach, I was just joking. I was hoping to catch you be able to be a guest on the Benchwarmers, Coach.
It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure having you on the show, man. Coach Johnson, you there?
Yep, I'm still here, Coach.
Oh, okay.
I'm still here.
Okay.
I wanted to also just commend you, Coach Carr, on all of your different shows, man. I love having you to talk about sports with, man. It's always good. You sit on that side back here, man, you can't say, just talking about sports, man, and different parts, and how it relates to the whole world and the life and different things like that, man. And I know everything isn't a game. I know everything is not a one-and-one or 30 seconds left in the game. But, man, when you can relate so many things from sports,
yes,
and from those types of battles and trials to your real life, it really helps you.
Yes, and I've taken a lot of things that I learned from athletics and beginners all the way with me through life. It helps me in rough and tough situations. I don't cave in, I don't give in. I take it like it could possibly be a big game. What would I do? Am I just going to go out here and fall apart? No, I'm not. So what I do want to say, Coach Jones, is Coach Johnson. Coach Johnson. What I do want to say is, in future shows, I'm working on a nice guest list, like Antoine Winfield. I'm trying to get the legendary Butch Reynolds on the show to talk. We're gonna see if if we know anything about the 27 point whatever million he was awarded that I studied while I was at Kent State, his case, I'm going to try to get him on the show, bring him. He's a legend. He held the world record. I'm going to try to get Chris Beanie Wells on the show to see if he's ever going back to the NFL. There's just some more people that I'm going to try to get on the show. Maybe a couple local Seahawks here. So I do look forward to the show growing. And my advertisement manager, he ready to blow the show all the way up. But I told him, hey, I like the viewers I got now because I don't know how many I got. I don't even have a count, but it's getting us ready for those viewers when we do go, big time advertisements. The show will have some backing, we'll have some good guests on the show. So, but right now, I like to thank a pioneer guest on the show, Coach James Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to get ready to get out of here. I got about 5 minutes left, and the music that I always give you at the end of the show gonna take you on out of here. It's been a great kickoff with Conversations with the Benchwarmers, Season 1, Episode 1. Last week's episode, like I told you, was a preview. I hope you enjoyed this episode, but next week, I tell you what, we really gonna bring it. I got a couple special guests that I already know that's gonna be there, so we're gonna have a nice panel. Now let me say this, my panel can sometimes hold up to 12. So, have a good night. Enjoy all the sports you can this weekend. And we'll see you next week on Conversations with the Benchwarmers.